Right, so welcome back everyone. English for Electrical Engineering. This is already Unit 5 that we are working on today. Our topic is telecommunications and networks. Quick introduction. Communication has always played a crucial role in human societies, and over time its forms have evolved through the progression of technology, transforming itself into telecommunication. Telegraph, telephone, the radio, the television, the radar, the fax, and more recently, the computer are all devices which were invented to communicate using electromagnetic waves. Thanks to them, we can transmit texts, pictures, sounds, and images and reach everyone in any part of the world. So, quick introduction for telecommunications. As always, we are going to be looking at texts. So this can be a reading or a listening comprehension depending on which way of learning you prefer. Okay, so we're going to be reading text and answer comprehension questions. Let's take a look at the first one. Here we'll have to look at this diagram and complete the text about the telecommunication systems on the next slide. So we have got means of transport, cables, radio waves, and the different examples right there. So let's have a quick look. So telecommunication systems means that the transmission of any information which is translated into electromagnetic waves that connect the transmitter to the receiver. These means can be physical media such as cables or radio waves which are transmitted by air. Different kind of cables can be used. The simplest communication cables consist of a single pair of wires twisted together. Other types include coaxial cables and optical fibers. Radio waves need antennas to be transmitted, and sometimes satellites are necessary for long distance transmission. Right. Second text right here for us. Read the text about the different kinds of transmission media and complete the table. We are starting off with ground transmission. So, wires provide a cheap and effective means of communication that was predominant in the past. Wires which are made of copper and insulated with plastic can be single or twisted, and they are used mainly in telephone and computer networks. Coaxial cables consist of an inner conductor insulated with plastic and surrounded by a woven copper shield. They are used in television and radio as these cables can support about 60 different channels. The inner copper cable is insulated to protect the wires from bending and crushing and to reduce the noise. Optical fibers are used in place of simple copper wires to carry larger amounts of information. They consist of strands of pure glass as thin as human hair. Signals travel along fibers with less loss and without any electromagnetic interference, as they permit transmission over longer distances and at a higher speed. They are used in communication systems, in some medical instruments, and in a wide variety of sensing devices. Okay, so these were optical fibers. Now moving on to air transmission. So antennas were invented to capture radio signals and convert them into electrical signals through the receiver. They can also receive electrical signals from the transmitter and convert them into radio signals. These electric devices, which provide information at a cheap rate, are essential to all equipment that uses radio. They are used in systems such as radio and television broadcasting, radar, mobile phones, and satellite communications, for which they are in form of different satellite dishes. Satellites are machines launched into the space to move around the Earth or any other celestial body A communications satellite is basically a station which receives signals in a given frequency and then retransmits them at a different frequency to avoid interference problems. The first satellite was launched by the Soviet Union in 1957. There are different types of satellites: low orbit satellites, which travel at about 300 kilometers from the Earth and observe the planet, providing accurate information about agriculture, pollution, and weather forecasting. There are also medium altitude satellites, which travel at about 9,000 to 18,000 kilometers from the Earth and are used in telecommunications. Ground transmission. Hold on a second. Right. Just skip through that one quickly. Right, here we go. So this is the chart that should be filled in right here. Means of transmission, material, function, type of signal or advantages. And here we've got wires, coaxial cables, optical fibers, antennas, and satellites. Okay, so if you want, you can jump back and forth between the texts and the chart. You can take a screenshot and make notes to answer the questions. If you are lucky enough to be in the class, then you can just complete the text on the worksheet and use this guide only to check your answers. So I'm just going to reveal all the answers here for you. So materials, functions, types of signals and advantages for wires, coaxial cables, optical fibers, antennas, and satellites. These are all the answers for you right here. Okay, let's move on to our next text right here. So let me just read this one quickly. A network is a group of computers linked together. It consists of at least two computers joined by cables on the same desk or same office, but it can also mean thousands of computers across the world. The users of a network can share hardware, scanners, printers, fax machines, etc., access data in other people's computers, and run other programs stored in the network, although not installed on their own computer. So a network consists of nodes, that is to say different computers and devices, a connecting medium such as cables or a wireless connection, routers which are special computers enabled to send messages, switches, that is devices which help to select a specific path to follow. Networks can be connected in different ways according to the area they cover. A LAN, L-A-N, or local area network is generally located in a limited space such as a building or a campus. On the contrary, a WAN, W-A-N, or wide area network operates in a larger area and can reach most of the world. So it could be described as a collection of LANs all over the world. The exchange of information in a network is controlled by communications protocols which define the formats and rules that computers must follow when talking to one another. A well-known communications protocols are Ethernet, which is a family of protocols used in LANs, and the Internet Protocol Suite, which is used in any computer network. Computer networks offer many advantages. For example, they facilitate communication, allowing people to send emails and texts, make phone or video calls, and video conference. Furthermore, networks allow people to share files, data, and other types of information, as users may access data and information stored on other computers in the network. On the other hand, networks might be difficult to set up and may be insecure, as computer hackers can send viruses or computer worms to the net computer. They may also interfere with other technologies as power line communication strongly disturbs certain forms of radio communication and access technologies such as ADSL. Right. Comprehension questions about this text. What does a network consist of? What is a router? What is a LAN? When? What is the function of communications protocols? Ethernet. Number 7, what are the advantages of using a network? What are the disadvantages? I'm just going to show you the answers now right here. Okay, what you can do is use this just to check your answers. All right, couple of more texts right here. Network topologies. Let's just read through them and then we will get to a couple of questions and the chart to fill in as well. So, bus network. In a bus network, all nodes are connected to a common medium called backbone, as it happens, for example, with Christmas lights. Information sent along the backbone travels until the destination is reached, and this kind of topology is generally used only for small networks, as it isn't able to connect a large number of computers. The main advantage offered by this topology is that a computer or device, that if a computer or a device doesn't work, it doesn't affect the others. Okay, star network. In a star network, all nodes are connected to a special central node called the hub. Once it has received a signal, the hub passes it to all the other nodes until it reaches the destination computer. This means that all the computers and devices are joined together. This type of topology is commonly used in businesses because it can grant rapidity and safety in exchanging data. Thanks to this topology, data is always up to date, and if a computer doesn't work, it doesn't affect the others. The only disadvantage is that when the hub goes down, or if the hub goes down, the whole network stops working. Ring network. In a ring network, each node is connected to its left in a circle. There is no central hub, and it holds all the data, and the communication is sent in one direction around the ring through the use of a token. As it requires fewer cables, this topology is less expensive. Nonetheless, because it provides only one pathway among the nodes, a single node node failure may isolate all the devices attached to the ring. Star bus topology is, I believe, our last one. This is a most common network topology used today. It combines elements of star and bus topologies to create a more effective network. Computers in a specific area are connected to hubs, creating a star, and then each hub is connected together along the network backbone. The main advantage is that it can be more easily expanded over time than bus or star. On the other hand, this topology is more difficult to configure than others, and if the backbone line breaks, then the whole network goes down. Right, true or false sentences. Again, I'll just show you the answers. If you want, take a screenshot or pause the video and go back to the text. Make your own predictions as to whether these sentences are true or false, and use the video only to check your answers. So the topology chosen depends on only on location of computers. This is false. All topologies use many cables and are very expensive. Not all of them. This is also false. In a bus topology, all the buses are connected to one another. This is true. In a bus topology, again, server controls the flow of data. This is false. In a star network, data is always updated. That is true. The hub doesn't connect printers and other devices in a star topology. That is false. While in the ring topology, each node is connected to the hub is also false. Ring topology, if the hub doesn't work, the network goes down. That is false. That's one of the advantages, that it does not affect the entire system. Right, star bus topology combines elements of bus and ring topologies. That is again false. Once again, we have lots of false answers here. And in a star bus topology, a backbone line failure affects the whole network is true. False, false, true, false, true, false, 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 true. All right. And the last task will be to fill in this chart about topology, connection, use, advantages and disadvantages about all these different types or examples of different topologies: bus, star, ring and star bus. Screenshot, make notes if you wish, or if you just want to recap what we have read or just check the answers, then here they all are regarding connection, use, advantages and disadvantages. Right, I'm not going to go through all of these as this clip is already, I believe, long enough. Right, do let me know if you have any questions or comments. But other than that, thank you for your attention today. Have a nice day, everyone, and I'll see you